Hey everybody, Chris here. This Dogecoin pattern is pointing to higher prices. We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And on our live stream that we had on Monday night, we were looking at how Dogecoin was going to perform overnight and into the next day. Someone asked, can you draw a little sketch about the next 12 hours for Doge? And so I did that. And Doge almost followed that exactly. And I also said, look, if Doge is going to approach 26 cent support, it will probably drop just below it, maybe to 25.9. And it did that too. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the charts of the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart at 26.15. That's right, 26.15 cents. And my theory that I've had, this thesis about penny by penny by penny in this range is how Dogecoin trades. So once it got to 26 cents, right, comes up to 27 cents, that becomes resistance. And then we target 26 cents again as support as Dogecoin fades with lower volume overnight, which is what I predicted on this white line. Yeah, it came down a little more. And again, as I said, that is what I said if we were going to be threatening the 26 cent support line, this penny by penny thesis, that would probably drop just a little bit below. And so that's what it did. Bitcoin, $124,500. So this is the new Bitcoin high that we had yesterday at 126,270. And we're going to see if Bitcoin's going to make another run for a new all-time high today or tomorrow. We will be watching that. In ETH at 4,700. ETH is still holding up very strong, which of course means that Bitcoin dominance is continuing to move down lower. We also have total market cap with a new all-time high yesterday of $4.26 trillion. And it looks like crypto is just going to go up above that as well. And also one other note is BNB overnight. The Asian markets just love the BNB, right? And so BNB rockets up over $1,300, new all-time high. Just incredible amount of buying into BNB. And so in the top 10 coins, BNB went from number 5, it flipped Tether, and then this morning flipped XRP, and is now the number 3 cryptocurrency. Just huge trading on BNB. But again, this is BNB's time, right? And for every time there's a BNB run, eventually that's going to quiet down, and then the money's going to flow into something else, and we'll see whether that's Doge. And I'll show you this this yellow line, the moving average line here, in just a minute. We'll get to that. Overall, look, we've got Bitcoin steady, right? $1 billion ETF inflows. So big money going into ETF. XRP dips, right? Dip back below $3. The so-called stable coin. You guys just have to, it's a joke. I'm not like Ethereum, Dogecoin rise, and you say, well, Dogecoin's right. No, it didn't. It went down. Well, you take the Dogecoin chart and you zoom out a little bit, right? Can't always be all zoomed in. And it's just a continuation of higher lows. And with those higher lows, this morning's dip right here to 25.8 is a higher low. On Saturday, we were down at 24.7, right? So now we're a whole penny up at 25.7, 25.8. Again, this is the penny by penny thing, right? And so on the 4-hour chart, this is looking pretty bullish, right? Here we go. We come down, scoop out some volatility there, some liquidity down here, and then move up higher. And that's what Doge is doing. So overall, $140 billion were added to the crypto market over the last 3 days. This is October, right? Bitcoin up 1%, just over 3 days, right? Over the month so far, the 7 days, these numbers are higher, but just over the 3 days, here's ETH up 3.6. BNB was 3.25, it's now higher, but Doge up 5.6. So Doge is performing better than all of the other top 10 coins, although BNB has probably now passed Doge with its overnight run. Bitcoin is boring 90% of the time, life-changing 10%. Your one job is to survive the boring part. And you can say this for Doge, except the difference is that Doge is life-changing for that 10% of the time. Those are those big green boxes I have. But instead of being boring the 90%, it's bearish, right? And that's when everyone's bearish about Doge because it drifts down, but it rockets up, and we're waiting for that next big rocket. So don't let the bears get you down. We're still in the 4-year cycles. Again, we've shown this chart many times from AO. We are in 2025. We have not had this blow off top yet. It hasn't happened yet, right? Bitcoin is inching up. Maybe Bitcoin isn't going to move as much as it did before 2013, 2017, but even 2021, rolling up into November of 2021, that was a bit of a run. So we still have that to come. And we'll talk more about the 4-year cycles in my next live stream, which will be Tuesday afternoon, 4:00 p.m. East Coast time. Make sure you're subscribed, you get your notifications on so that you can join in on the live where we expand out these conversations. Look, Bitcoin, the monthly RSI is still not topped out. We had high RSIs here early 2024, and then of course late 2024 after the Trump win in the U.S. presidential election, and we're not up at that level yet. We still have a ways to go, and this is out in the month. This is zoomed out, way out on the monthly. We still have a ways to go in this RSI. Bitcoin versus gold. This is what happens. The pattern. Gold goes on a big run and then it settles down. And then Bitcoin goes on a run. 2017. Same thing happened in 2020, right? Gold went on a run and then it settled down. Money flows into Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes on a run. What have we had just now? This huge run in gold, right? Huge run in gold. Wouldn't be surprised to see gold just kind of settle down a little bit, and then we'll see this big run on Bitcoin. Interesting theory there. Also, once we have this oversold condition on the Bitcoin chart, which we just had, this is a couple months ago, looking back, that August time frame, and we are just moving up out of that oversold position. So we go from this sort of expansion mode to accumulation to shakeout, right? And then we go to the expansion, then we go to the accumulation, and then we have the shakeout right there. And that's what we just had when Bitcoin dipped back near 100K, and now it's moving back up. This is that expansion zone. The patterns repeat. The patterns repeat again and again and again. And that's what we see happening again for Bitcoin. And of course, the big ETFs, right? Now over $2 billion in the past few days flowing into the Bitcoin ETFs. Just big, big money flowing in. And that's why we want the Dogecoin ETFs, right? We want to see the money flowing into Doge. Hope the U.S. government shutdown ends. The SEC gets back to work and approves these other ETFs, especially the Dogecoin, the grayscale Dogecoin one, because the Rex Osprey one just doesn't have the pull that grayscale will have, which is why we want that grayscale ETF. And we also have ETH ETFs as well, up over $1 billion over the past few days into ETH. So, and of course, BNB reaches new all-time high, $1,300. So that's happening, right, in the altcoin market. A lot of attention on BNB right now, but that will rotate and that will flow. Dogecoin Fear and Greed Index has ticked up from 62 yesterday to now 65 today. Even if the price is pulling back, the greed is still there, right? And it's holding. Good times ahead, right? And here we have the McDonald's pattern. That's what I called it on my X post this morning. It's like Doge 4-hour pattern. A nice pattern was caught on the Dogecoin chart. And here we had late September, right? After a pullback, right? We had the sort of double hump, right? You could call it the McDonald's arches. That's fine. That's kind of my little joke here. And then we have the big move in the pullback. And guess what? Another double set of arches, the golden arches again. And here we are, right? Hitting a new upward sloping support line, ready for the next move up. Kind of an interesting pattern. Mag says, look, Doge, the God candle's coming. The God candle is coming. And hey, You never know when something like that is going to happen. Which is why you need to be in Doge, not playing stupid games, right? You're not shorting Doge. The House of Doge, why are institutions watching Dogecoin? It's no longer hype, it's infrastructure in motion. It's going to be hard to shake that whole meme coin vibe, right, with Doge. But House of Doge is working with CleanCore, partnered up, buying Dogecoin into their Dogecoin treasury, and we get exposure through funds and ETPs, right? Exchange traded product, exchange traded fund, same thing, ETP, ETF. That's why we want that grayscale ETF. Of course, diversification. We have utility adoption. That's not only Doge OS, but also such pay that they're working on, payments and merchants, right? How is Dogecoin going to continue to be used? And of course, we have our strong community and of course an on-chain resilience because Dogecoin is a proof of work cryptocurrency, which is mined. So total security, totally decentralized. There's no big dev team that like hoarded a bunch of tokens like all of those other meme token projects. So at House of Doge, we are building the bridges so institutions don't just watch, they participate. This is awesome. I think that's awesome. And it just continues to grow for Doge, meaning that we may not see in the bear market such a huge pullback in Dogecoin if all of this stuff continues to grow. So it'll be interesting to watch that as we go on. But what Dogecoin could be gearing up for $1? These historical patterns repeat. And this is crypto analyst Mickey Bull Crypto, right? And this is his chart. So I zoomed in the chart, and he talks about Doge is ready to go to $1 from the bullish move that's about to hit. If you observe from the chart, whenever it is retested on the MA or moving average, a huge bullish move follows. And I'm like, okay, this is great, but he doesn't call out like which moving average this is, which MA is this? And I don't see it up here at the top. Typically you'll see another line here that says what the moving average is. And so I was like, okay, I want to see this a little closer. So I made my own. Yes, I made my own, which is what this yellow line is. But let me go to my other chart here, which shows how that works. And this is on the monthly. So we are looking for a monthly moving average. And this is this yellow line here. And so this is a 20-month moving average. And you will see what Mickey Bull's talking about right here, right before the huge run in 2017, right here, again, right before the huge run in 2021. And here we are, we're at that same point right now, right? And we've just hit it, and we're just starting to move up now into my green box. This green box is the next big move for Doge, because we had these previous green boxes here, 2014, right? 2013 when Doge started, right? Took off, 2017, 2021, and now 2025. And of course, I'm looking at the fib lines and looking at when Doge goes into price discovery, where does it go? I made a whole 2-year outlook video that covered all this, but we talk about these during the live streams as well, so we can talk about that some more. But this is the pattern that Doge follows, and this 20-month moving average that Mickey Bull showed. It's looking pretty good. And we are just bouncing off that now, and the move has started, which has the potential of going parabolic, as we saw in 2021. And we had these little moves, right? Early 2024, late 2024. Those are great, but those are just the lead up to what can come when we get into price discovery. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this pattern setup and prices going higher? Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.